Good afternoon, adventurers from lovely Canada. What are we doing in Canada, you're asking?
Good question.
Well, if you caught our last video, you know that we took the ferry straight from hell, sailed straight into a typhoon. It was horrible. And you guys know Clementine has been having some engine issues and all the mechanics are 1 to 2 weeks out. So we decided to ditch her and leave her in Seattle and take little Ruby Suzuki up to Canada. Eh? Do all of you hate me now? Sorry, Canadians. It's just too fun to say, eh? But y'all know us. When Clementine is away, we will play. And by that, I mean we are trading in our vintage RV for a different home on wheels. That's right, y'all. We bought a new car and camper and everything. No, we didn't. We're renting this, but y'all know we have Chuck the Truck down in Texas. It is actually the exact same truck as this. A little bit newer though, and prettier, I might add. You guys know we pull the trailer around, but that makes it really long and hard to maneuver. This is much more nimble, so we thought, let's try it out.
Yeah, try before we build, because we're not gonna buy it, we're gonna build it.
Oh, we would definitely build it. Let us know if you guys would want to watch that.
But anyways, how awesome is this thing? So it's the same truck that we have, so it's super heavy duty, it's 4x4, it's got the extended cab there, but this camper is a vintage beauty. It's from 1998, I believe. And we love that it's all fiberglass. We're big fans of that because, you know, Clementine is made of mostly aluminum, and I think it's much more prone to leaking. It's much more flimsy. It's harder to repair, as you guys have seen from the damage that's on the front of the thing. But because the truck is so huge, this thing is actually really huge. Like, look how far the sleeping bunk extends. Like, that's probably bigger than the bunk on Clementine. Of course, it's got the extended cab just like our truck. It is a 4x4 just like our truck. So basically, we're gonna see exactly what Chuck would be like with a big old camper on the back. Alright y'all, so here is the plan. We have picked up this rig in the town of Squamish, which is this charming little town that is just a little ways north of Vancouver. It actually sits along the Sea to Sky Highway, which is arguably one of the most beautiful drives in Canada. So our plan is to just go along that highway. We're gonna go up to the Whistler area. We're not gonna go too far, but really we just wanna try out the truck camper. We wanna see like kind of the pros and cons, see how it compares to living in an RV like Clementine or a pull behind trailer. But we also wanna give you guys a tour of the inside of this thing. It is a vintage beauty. It is a little bit rough around the edges, but it will get the job done.
Yes, unlike Clementine, it has not been updated at all. So everything in there is original and it is way awesome, a little stinky, but really cool.
Man, this thing is just as loud as Chuck, huh?
Back to feeling bad about having your car running around people. It's just like so obnoxiously loud.
There you go.
Much better. For our first stop, we wanted to take a little hike up to Shannon Falls, which is this epic waterfall that you pass on the way into Squamish. But first, let's give you guys a little tour inside our vintage camper. Come on in, out of the rain. Welcome inside our little Kodiak camper. As you can see, y'all, this thing is surprisingly spacious, and it's kind of blowing our minds that this is just sat in the back of a pickup. Like, we're in the bed of the pickup truck right now. But it feels so big because it hangs over the side. Just punched something. It hangs over the side, and it hangs off the back, and it hangs over the front too, where the bed is. So it's like completely monopolizing the space of the truck.
And some of these campers even have a slide out over here. So imagine that, like if this could slide out a little bit, even like a couple feet, that would, it would make it huge in here.
That's the reason, honestly, that we don't typically like smaller campers, especially camper vans, because there's never enough space for 2 people, right? Like the aisles are always so small, you can't get by. I think this is just about as small as we would want to go.
Yeah, realistically, I'd like another foot or so. That would help. But, you know, it's not too bad.
So that means we need to get one with the slide out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Luxury.
No, we just have to build our own.
Yeah, that's probably ultimately, y'all, what we're leaning towards. Man, we have been scheming since we got in here. Ooh. All right, let's walk y'all through the layout of this thing. So first, you can see it's got a pretty spacious kitchen over here, a surprising amount of counter space, and even though the sink is kind of one of the more shallow ones, which we don't love, it at least has two sides to it, so you can wash over here, dry over here. It also has a big propane oven and stove, which we love cooking with real fire.
Except since it's so old, you have to light it by hand, which we don't love.
It is kind of terrifying to have like a lighter jammed in there and it goes pfft. But this is kind of funny. This is the hood for the range, but it also has your levels in here. Now, he told us that these are wildly inaccurate, so don't actually pay attention to them. But
they look cool.
They do look cool. It's really neat that it's all built in here. And then what's behind door number 1? Y'all, this is the refrigerator. It's an old Dometic. It opens like this. It has a full-on freezer up here, and then plenty of space. It keeps everything very cold, almost too cold.
But what we love is that this is a huge fridge considering how small this rig is. I thought it would have like a tiny little mini fridge.
Yeah, no, this is full on. You can have everything you need in here for like weeks. And it's also a dual gas and electric. So right now we're running off propane, but if we were hooked up, you could switch it over to electric.
This is the dining area / hangout space. There is actually a lot of space in this little nook. You can see that it wraps all the way around, so you could comfortably-ish fit 3 or 4 people in here, I think, if you were hanging out. Little things that I love that they do in RVs, like they cut this out just to give you that extra little space when you're walking by, so you don't jam right into a sharp corner. We didn't really think of all those things in our RV, so we run into the sharp corners all the time.
We've got a lot of sharp corners.
Like, for example, these open up like this, so that means you can't really bonk your head on this stuff, but in our RV, it opens like this. So if you leave them open, you will jam it right into your head, and it hurts.
Luckily, I'm short enough that I walk under them, but Eric hits his head on everything.
Just tall enough. How about these vintage cushions, you guys? These are original, and you can tell by this awesome 90s, like a cruise ship floor pattern.
It reminds me of like a Bill Cosby sweater.
Yeah. To be honest with you guys, this thing was a little dirty when we picked it up, so we had to do a lot of cleaning, but it does clean up pretty nicely. You know, once we vacuumed everything and swept the floor and kind of wiped off some of the surfaces, it doesn't look too bad. Could use a remodel, though. That's what I would do if I had this thing.
Yeah, we'd say we're going to remodel it and then we'd gut it.
Yeah, then we just rip it apart. This is actually a funny little contraption how this tabletop works. It kind of moves in a bunch of different ways. It's a really goofy mechanism. It's just this plywood that kind of slips past this other strip of plywood that kind of holds it in, and that allows it to kind of move this way, allows it to move this way, allows it to kind of turn this way. It's definitely old tech, though.
Just simple tech, I'd say. We would definitely over-engineer something like this.
Oh, yeah. I think this comes out somehow. Come on! Ah! Does this turn into a bed or something? How does this work? Oh, there we go. All right, this looks like it could work. What if we just slide this in here? Ha-ha! Voila! All right, I don't know how you fill this area in, but look, extra bed.
Does anyone want to come and join this?
Come into my RV. This thing is like a Ouija board or something. I'm not moving this right now, you guys. I'm dead serious. What is it trying to tell us?
I think it's saying that this bit is over.
This bit is over. How'd you know? You ever just wish you were funnier? That's me right now.
Do I wish you personally were funnier?
Right,
yes.
This is over. But we were actually completely blown away by how much storage is in this thing. We just keep finding new compartments to stuff things in. So we've got these compartments up here. Obviously, you guys saw the storage in the kitchen. There's cabinets up at the top. There's a bunch of cabinets down at the bottom for all the kitchen-related stuff. To the left of the fridge, there's this huge deep closet that we were able to hang all of our clothes in. There are 2 more deep closets in the bed area, and then a bunch of little cubbies for even more storage. There's storage down here, too, isn't there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Not the cleanest hole, but that's where they chose to put the pans and pots. This is another storage compartment down here, but it goes directly into the truck. So when you put stuff down here, it's just literally sitting in the back of the truck, so you can use that as storage. So the electrical setup in this rig is pretty interesting. So I think in general, most of it is original, but they have kind of retrofitted it with some modern amenities. This is actually a solar charge controller, so they do have a couple solar panels on the roof to keep the batteries topped up. And then they put a tiny little inverter here. And as you can see, this rig is not kept in the most cleanly state, so it's a little bit dirty. Everything's a little bit dirty in here. But it's really funny to wire up all this new stuff. They just ran the wires kind of along every little nook and cranny that they could find. They ran it to these little 12-volt USB outlets that are hanging out in different areas of the camper. It's annoying that there's wires all over the place, but it is very nice to have those USB chargers all over the place. And then this is how the inverter works. They plug in a cord here, and it goes to this little extension right here. It works, you know, that's all that matters, I guess. Sadly, it has been pouring down rain since we got to the area, so we really haven't been able to get much solar power to keep our rig charged up. Luckily, this rig comes with a 30-amp charger, and we were able to plug it into our Anchor because this thing has huge capacity. This is powering this entire rig, but it's also charging our laptops, keeping our phones charged, keeping the lights on. Well, that thing is really bright. But as you guys guessed, Anchor is once again sponsoring today's video, so we wanted to give them a huge shout out as usual for supporting our channel. We bring our Anchor power station with us everywhere we go, and that is for situations like this. There aren't any RV parks open right now for us to charge our batteries up anyway, so it's this or nothing. This big bad boy here is the Anchor Solix F2000. It holds 2,048 watt-hours of power, and it has this rapid recharge feature, so that means it charges up to 80% in just an hour. You can see we've scraped it and dinged it. We really just kind of manhandle this thing. We don't want to have to baby it, you know, and we're lucky that we don't have to because it's so rugged. And one thing that's super cool is it has this handy little hidden handle that comes out, and you can tote this thing around just like luggage. You can go ahead and visit the link that is on screen right now. Anchor is already having their Black Friday sale. You can save up to $1,500, get free gifts, and enter the lucky drawing.
All right, what's behind door number 2? A whole ding dang bathroom, y'all.
Where you go, number 2?
Where you go, number 2? So this is also not our favorite type of bathroom. It's a wet bathroom where everything gets water on it. But it does have a full bathroom, so I'll give it points for that. So you have a full toilet that flushes and everything. And then when you shower, you just pull this little curtain here and pray that it doesn't leak out into the main area.
Oh, that's definitely leaking right there.
Yeah. What I love about these old campers is that the interior in here is just wallpaper and wood. Doesn't seem like the best materials for a shower room, but...
And a little bit of plastic PVC type of stuff.
Yeah, on this side.
And of course, some storage. There you go.
A lot of toilet paper. We've got this cool old shower head. It actually comes out of the sink here, so you control it with these nozzles. But it would work, you know, showering.
Yeah. And it does have hot water.
It does have hot water. And I guess that's showering with Allison.
I'd do that.
Gosh, this has gotten weird. Y'all, this is by far our favorite part of this little camper. This overhead cab. It's so big that you actually sleep front to back like this instead of side to side like we have to do in Clementine. And it's tall enough that I can pretty much sit up. Plus it sticks way out on the sides, so you've got plenty of space around you, and it has these windows so you can wake up to epic views. Yes!
I like that.
All right, goodbye. Now you're sleeping down on the couch tonight.
Nah, okay, I don't like it.
They also have this thing. I'm not really sure what it's for.
It's like is it a clothesline?
But then your clothes would just drip onto the bed. Maybe it's more so like a Kevin McAllister like anti-theft.
Oh yeah, it's a tripwire. A very visible, obvious, useless tripwire.
We made it to the Shannon Falls viewpoint and confirmed this waterfall is mighty and magical, and it's all misty and rainy, and I feel like it just adds to the ambiance. It almost looks like it's just coming out of the clouds.
Just such a massive amount of water, and it's just hitting all these different rocks and exploding off of them as it cascades down.
Love nature,
Yeah.
It's so cool.
It's magnificent.
Yeah.
Well, who are you? Sweetest little puppy ever. Hey, buddy. You're just a little old man, huh?
Prepared for the elements.
With the most adorable sweater I've ever seen. Yeah, give me that butt.
Forest Service roads all over this area. Some go on for hundreds of kilometers. They are pretty much unmaintained, so they're very rugged.
You never really know what you're gonna get, you know?
No, some of them definitely require 4x4 ability, which we have, but technically we're not supposed to be off-roading really in this rig since it's a rental. So we found a spot that's just like a kilometer in. I think we can safely get there. The road's a little bumpy, but I'm taking it slow.
Yeah, we're really not sure what this thing is capable of. We don't want the camper to go flying off or something like that.
That is literally my biggest fear. It does rock and you can see it a little bit out the windows, and I'm so scared I'm gonna look out once and it's just gonna be gone. It's gonna have flown off.
Yeah, it will have fallen down there.
Yeah.
this might end up being our spot for the night. We're about a mile into the road. We don't really want to go too much further than that, but man, this like goes off every which way. So who knows what kind of adventure would await you out there.
I don't know, but there's a lot of signs and danger looking things over there. Like, I think we made the right call stopping right here.
Man, it's nasty out here. Allison has a waterproof jacket, I don't.
Well, and he, for whatever reason, refuses to zip up his jackets ever.
I don't know why.
And then you're warm and you're not wet anymore.
It gets in the way of the camera when it's flipped here. That's why I don't do it. But I did want to give you guys a look at the outside of this thing. So of course, this thing, I think it's from 1998, so it's old, but not too old. Not as old as Clementine was, but that still hasn't stopped the weather from getting to all the seals and things like that. So there are some spots on the outside where there's just kind of caked on dirt and they've caked on sealant over the years. It's like classic for an older RV. Like we've mentioned, the rig does run on propane, so they have 2 giant tanks here. So this will actually last a really long time, probably about as long as Clementine. The stairs are the weak link. First off, these things are so freaking dangerous. I feel like I'm gonna cut my finger off in this thing. Put it in like this, right? Yeah, there you go. Check it out. Ta-da! And it feels like it's not gonna hold my weight, but so far, so good. First order of business, if we had a rig like this, we would put some kind of automatic fancy stairs on there or something. In case you guys aren't familiar with truck campers, this is like a common way that they mount. So they use this chain system that mounts down to this bracket. This is actually welded to the frame of the truck. And then this chain kind of gives you some slack so you can tighten it here and get it like the perfect level of tightness. There's 4 of those all the way around the truck, and that does the trick to hold it nice and stationary. But you guys saw when we go over some of these bumps, the whole thing is rocking, and I didn't know if it was this rocking or the body rocking, but it's really the whole thing. Like the body rocks with the top as one unit. That body rocks, y'all. This body rocks. Over here on this side, you can actually access, I believe this is the black tank, and it is the tiniest tank in the land, so not gonna last very long. But then all your hoses and things like that for all the dirty stuff, and actually the valves that you have to pull to empty the gray and the black are in there. And then it comes right out the poop chute right there. And then what's in here?
This is your clean hose, or for like clean fresh water. There's one for gray water, and then there's an outdoor shower in here, which we don't need because it's currently outdoor showering on us all the time.
Yeah, so I guess this could be a little bit of outdoor storage, but it's not much. Luckily, it makes up for it with all the indoor storage.
That is true.
All right, can we go inside now?
Yes, please.
It's
I'm so cold and wet.
Tell them what we're making.
Oh, y'all, we're going back to one of our favorite dishes, shakshuka. Except that we don't have any of the right seasoning. I don't know, it's like the Beeler version of shakshuka.
We've also got some cooked up peppers and sausage we're gonna put in it right here. We've got the most delicious hummus in the land.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
We like this because we can do it all in one pan.
Yes.
It takes a while to do it, especially if you use real tomatoes, so we use canned tomatoes, but it's gonna get there.
I think it's gonna be a lot better and a lot less hassle doing the canned tomatoes. We've never tried it before though. Now we're just gonna stew this down, pour all this goodness back into it, crack a few eggs in there.
Should we switch into like a food porn montage?
Yes, please.
Cracking eggs are perfect for that.
Oh, so good.
All right, so we might not be serving it in the most classy way possible. We're trying to cut down on dishes, y'all.
Yeah, we don't have a lot of water, so compostable plates and bowls it is. Everything's hot. It's all fresh out of the oven and the pan.
Try it. I want to know how we did.
No, I'm gonna burn myself, aren't I?
Don't actually burn yourself.
Ooh, we did a good job. It kind of just tastes like tomato stew with naan
Well, that's what we were hoping. Like, even if we didn't get the seasoning right, the tomato should come across, right?
Oh, yeah. It's so good. It's like having breakfast for dinner, but in an elevated way, and I love it.
All right, naan, cheers.
Well, shouldn't we not cheers then?
That was going to be my joke.
Too slow, Joe.
That's the joke I always make. Why would you steal it, you jerk?
I learned from the best or the worst.
All right, whatever. This is a non-video.
Good night.
Well, good morning, y'all.
Morning.
Did you sleep all right?
I did, y'all. This mattress is surprisingly comfy.
Yeah, and it's really spacious up here. You can see I can almost sit up.
And nobody drove by last night, at least that I heard, so it ended up being very quiet and nice.
However, we do have a water leak that's been leaking directly on us right here, and we just now realized it. Apparently this is not super waterproof.
No, I realized it in the middle of the night when it dripped on my hand and I went, ah!
The other downside is there's no blackout curtains in this entire thing, so it gets real bright up here real fast. All right, let's giddy up, giddy up and go. Should we show them the front of the truck a bit?
Yeah, it's a little different than our truck. So the first thing you notice, it's got this big bench seat up here, which, you know, it seems kind of fun and retro, except that when I drive, I have to do this.
This whole thing moves up. Can you believe that?
So poor Eric's knees are like in the dash.
Yeah. Oh yeah, speaking of, look how this does. The whole seat bends up like that. I don't know if I've ever really seen that before. It's very awkward.
The owner told us the first time he did this, he thought this seat was broken.
Yeah.
But this side does it too. Now, I will say that the fabric is identical to Chuck.
Except in much worse condition.
It is, yeah, it's really old and dirty. It could use a proper cleaning, which I don't think anybody has done since this truck was purchased.
There's also no step here, so it's very difficult to get into this thing. I've literally fallen out of it before. There's a whole technique to it, man.
You gotta like jump.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm glad I'm young and spry, but I'm really not. Like I could twist my ankle at any moment. I feel like we really lucked out with our truck. I think most of the time when you find trucks like this is an example of a good one that's actually in good condition. So it's got dirt and grime from all the years all over it. There's a couple rips in the dash and in the seat, dirt that's never gonna come off, that's kind of caked on. And of course, all over the body, you can see that there's spots where all the paint has worn away. And of course, there's little bits of rust, which is to be expected in such a wet climate. It's also got 318,000 miles on it. Chuck has about 70,000 miles on it.
Yeah, so now he might be pushing 80, 85, but yeah,
it makes us realize just how special our truck is.
He is a magical creature and we love him. Well, y'all, this was a really fun first night in this camper. It would be very cool to own one of these, but we are actually heading further north up to Whistler. We're kind of in the down season. The snow is supposed to be starting in a couple weeks, so a few things are closed. I'm actually kind of glad we're not gonna get stuck in a snowstorm, but it is supposed to be just kind of gross and wet. But I think regardless, it's gonna be beautiful. We keep hearing that it's even potentially more beautiful up here in the rain because of all the fog and the mist, which
yeah, it's moody.
Confirmed, we love that vibe. But maybe we'll get a little sunshine, I don't know. But either way, we're gonna have a lot of fun up in Canada, y'all. Goodbye, adventures.
We'll see you on the road.